dignitaries of the dais and General Manager Shri Babu, Ravindra Babu, General Manager Union Bank of India, and Shri Ulla Kumar, correct no? Rao, Deputy Zonal Head, Union Bank of India, Field General Manager Office, Mangalore, and young and energetic, charming Sri Mahesh, Regional Manager, Mangalore Region, and all NRIs. NRIs means
Non-resident Indian.
I can't hear. NRIs means noble and respected Indians. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening to you.
Very good evening. I have one program called Business Tonic in every Sunday in Nammakudla channel. We have completed only 147 episodes, including I have covered many episodes for NRIs also on taxation aspects and investment aspect, even banking, regulations, all these aspects are covered. If you go to YouTube, not now, if you see Business Tonic, then all these 147 episodes are available. Any doubt, it is like an encyclopedia, you can refer. Tax, definitely it is a boring subject, but two things are certain in our life. One is debt, another is taxes. Both things are certain in our life. Dear noble and respected Indians, NRIs, are your tax problems chronic? Do not panic. This is NRI Meet Clinic. Here we will give you Union Bank NRI Tonic. Okay. Ignorance of law is not an excuse. You cannot say that I was not knowing about the provisions of taxation. All those years I am an NRI and you enjoy the special status because most of your income is exempted from payment of taxes, including your deposits, NRE deposits, either it may be Indian currency or foreign currency, whatever interest earned, as long as you are NRI, it is exempted. There are three types of residential status. I don't want to go in detail, you are all know about it, but still just a gist. Resident, not ordinarily resident, and non-resident. In case of resident, the global income is taxable. If you earn all over the world, it is taxable. Of course, some checks and balances are there. In case of non-resident, only Indian income is taxable. Whatever is income earned or deemed to be earned, accruing or deemed to accrue in India, that is taxable. In case of resident but not ordinarily resident, Indian income, any of it is taxable. Income outside India is taxable only when the business is and profession is controlled from India. It's very simple. Who have to file income tax returns in India? The question will arise. Are you required to file income tax returns in India? You are required to file income tax returns in India if you have taxable income without rebate. That means, in case of individual, if you have total income rupees 2.5 lakhs in a year and above, you are required to file your income tax return. This 2.5 lakhs without taking any deductions. Of course, you can take exemptions. In case you earn interest on NRE deposits, so that is exempted. Other than that, if you have any deductions for your savings, if it exceeds 2.5 lakhs total income, then you have to file your return. Then what is total income? There are 5 heads of income. One is income under the head salaries. If you earn any salary, if you earn any pension on receipt basis or accrual basis also, then you have to take under income from salaries, either from the employer or from former employer. That means either in the form of salary or in the form of pension. Then you will get standard deduction of 50,000. Remaining amount is taxable portion of salary income. Then income from property. The heading under the Income Tax Act is house property. But it is not only house property, any property. If you let out the rental income received from either house property or from commercial property, or it may be from industrial property, that will be taxable under that income from house property. If you just let out vacant land, then any income, if you receive as in the form of rent, then it is taxable under that income from other sources. Earlier, if you own more than one house self-occupied, considered it was self-occupied, second house, even though it was vacant, even though you had two houses, say for example, one house in Mangalore, one house in Bangalore. So second house, even though it was vacant, it was considered as deemed to be let out, and whatever fair rental value of that house was taxable. But now you can use two house properties as self-occupied properties. One individual can own two house properties. You can own any number of house properties. There is no restriction. But for the purpose of self-occupied house property, you can own two houses. Suppose you have three houses or three flats. All three, it is not let out. Then, two houses of your choice, you can take self-occupied. The third one, your choice. The smallest house you can take is as a let out. Even though it is not let out, it is deemed to be let out. What is the deemed to be let out? Deemed to be let out means fair rental value of that flat or house is to be considered as gross rental value. Clear? After this session, another 5-10 minutes I will bring question and answer. After, because time is not much. Then, if you have any doubt during dinner time also, you can ask any question. It is free of charge. Okay? Consultation, no fees at all. Don't worry. Okay? any regarding your business matters or your tax matters, you can ask. To the best of my knowledge, I will try to resolve it. Then income from commercial property. If you get rent, that is also taxable. But one beauty in rental income is, say you have other income other than rental income in India, salary, house property and other income. If you have 10 lakhs income, entire on 10 lakhs you have to pay tax, subject to slab rate. But if you have rental income, 10 lakhs, 30% standard deduction you will get for repair elements, whether you repair or not. That is the beauty of rental income. Say your income is 1 crore, forget about this basic exemption. Your tax rate is 30%. Of course, surcharge and other things are there. Let us forget about it. Your tax rate is 30%. If you have 1 crore rental income, then applicable tax rate, even though 30% on 30% deduction you have to do from 1 crore. That means on 70 lakhs only you have to pay 30%. That means 21 lakhs. So the applicable tax rate on rental income is not 30%, only 21%. That is the beauty in rental income. One side you will gain rent, another side there is appreciation of the property. Then how to own property? Very simple. Union Bank of India is there. They are ready to, nowadays rather than deposit, they are more interested in giving loans, because loan is an asset for any bank. Everybody is interested more in good assets. Okay. So, income from house property, whatever rental income, from that interest paid on borrowing, it is deductible. But earlier what they used to do, whatever interest you can deduct, the negative income you could have set off from other income. But now the negative income you can set off only to the extent of 2 lakhs. In excess of 2 lakhs, you cannot set off in that year, you can just carry forward. So that break they have put. Next, income from business or profession. If you own any business or if you own any professional income in India, it is taxable. If you are a partner in a partnership firm, share of profit from the firm, it is exempted in the hands of individual, but interest on capital, on the partner's capital, and remuneration earned from a partnership firm, that is taxable under the head business income. Okay. Next, capital gains. Capital gains, if you transfer any capital asset, any gain you are earning out of the transfer of capital asset, it is a capital gain. May it be property, may it be shares, may it be mutual fund, or any capital asset. Very simple capital definition. If I tell the definition, it will be so big. Capital asset means property of any kind held by the assets, whether or not connected with the business or all these things are there. That is not required now. Okay. So there are two types of capital gains. One is short term, one is long term. Earlier, in case of a property held more than 36 months, it was a long term. Now it has been reduced to 24 months. Suppose if you buy and register a flat, or if you purchase any land or purchase any house property, if you sell it after 2 years, it is a long term capital gain. The tax rate is only 20%, subject to indexation. Okay. Suppose if you have purchased one property in the year 2001, the index is 100. Now 300 and something is that. So if you have purchased the property then for 10 lakhs, now the indexed value is around 35 or 40 lakhs. In excess of that 40 lakhs, whatever that is there, that is called capital gain. On that you have to pay 20% tax. If it is short term, if you sell within 2 years, then it is a short term whatever normal taxable rate applicable to you, that will apply. In case of mutual fund, there are two types of mutual fund: equity mutual fund, debt mutual fund. If it is equity mutual fund, just 1 year. If it is in excess of 1 year, it's a long term, otherwise it's a short term. In case of debt mutual fund, up to 3 years, it is a short term. In excess of 3 years, it is long term. Even in case of shares also, if we hold more than 1 year, it is a long term, less than 1 year, short term. The tax rate applicable for shares is, if it is long term, 10%, if it is short term, 15%. That is capital gain on sale of shares. Then income from other sources. Income from other sources, one change has happened during the last financial year is dividend. Earlier dividend income was tax free in the hands of the receiver. Now any dividend received is taxable at the applicable slab rate. Then interest on your NRO account, other than NRE account or FCNR account, whatever other interest earned, it is taxable. Okay? So this is income from other sources. One caution I would like to mention regarding sale or purchase of property. Many people are misled in these property transactions. If you sell any property, the value rupees 50 lakhs and above, 50 lakhs and above, so compulsorily there is a TDS. Okay, that is at 1% for resident, but for non-resident, any value, 20% TDS is applicable. If you want TDS at lesser rate, then you have to apply with the jurisdictional officer, all online now, very simple process. Under Form 13 you have to apply and they will give whatever lesser rate or nil rate. As per that, you have to pay the taxes. Section 50C, one aspect here is, normally what happens is, when a seller sells the property, you are all NRIs, you will buy the property, you don't have any cash portion, you don't have any black. Some people they tell, no, I have my this capital gain, I have to pay more. Then your stamp duty you have to pay, remaining portion you are paying in cash. And if you purchase such property, there are restrictions in cash transactions in property. If you pay in cash and any person receives in cash, both are prohibited. Okay, any property transaction in cash is prohibited. Equivalent amount of penalty, whatever you pay cash, for the payer as well as for the receiver. Equivalent amount of penalty. No cash transactions should be done in property transaction. Then, if you register a property less than the guidance value, say guidance value of the property is 1 crore, but if you register, if you are buying it just for 75 lakhs, the difference 25 lakhs, it is a deemed capital gain for the person who sells and it is a deemed gift for a person who receives. So on that 25 lakhs, you have to pay tax. He has to also pay tax. So whenever fair market value or sub-registrar value of property is there, you cannot register any property less than the sub-registrar's valuation. The only relaxation is 10% variation is permitted. Say if it is 1 crore up to 90 lakhs, no problem, 10%. Otherwise, the difference will be taxable as a deemed gift for the receiver and deemed capital gain for the transferor. So sum total of all these heads, it comes under total income. From total income, whatever deductions are there are two types of tax regimes. One is older regime and new regime. In new regime, you have to forego all the exemptions and deductions. 70 exemptions and deductions you have to forego, but tax rates is little bit less. Up to 5 lakhs, 5%, 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, 7.5%, 7.5 lakhs, then 10%, then 10 lakhs to 12.5, 15%, then 15 up to 15 lakh, 20%, then it is 30%. But here, old regime, you will get deductions, ATC, ATD, Mediclaim, and investment made, all these things, you will get deductions. So then, regarding gift, if you receive, that means you are giving gift or you are receiving gift. Okay, those who are receiving gift from your relatives, then it is not taxable. Other than relatives, even if a friend, classmate, no. If you receive gift, that is taxable. Who is the definition of relative? You may tell cousin, so like that, distant relative, no. The definition of relative is there in income tax, that is lineal ascendant, lineal descendant. That means father, father's father, mother, mother's mother, son, son's son, or daughter, daughter's daughter. Then brother or sister. Then spouse, very easy to remember, spouse of the individual. Then their relatives, of course as per that you have to say. Other than these relatives, if you take any gift, it is taxable. So that one caution you have to remember. Then construction of house property. In case of construction of house property, if you are constructing the house property more than 50 lakhs, and one person if you are paying more than 50 lakhs, you have to compulsorily make TDS at the rate of 5% for payment. That is a new provision. Many people are not aware about it. Then one more is restriction on cash transaction. Suppose it is marriage season. One caterer will give you a bill of 3 lakhs. Then entire 3 lakhs you should pay check. Any amount of payment in excess of rupees 2 lakhs. So it is under section 269 ST. For receiver it is penalty. For payer there is no penalty. But if he gets penalty also, as good as you will get penalty. Correct, no? So these are all the major provisions I would like to say, because there is no much time left. So there are some do's and don'ts, as I have told. You have to file your returns on time. That is due. If you don't, you have to pay fine. I have made one program in this business money. Pay tax and be fined, otherwise pay fine. The caption of the topic is pay tax and be fined, otherwise pay fine. That if you refer, you will get all the details in that. You should make, if you delay, now 31st December is the last date now, it is extended. After 31st December, you have to pay 5,000 fine, not penalty. Fine is compulsory, penalty is genuine cases they can waive, here no way. After 31st March, you cannot file the return at all. Then what happens? If they come to know that you have not filed the return, it will amount to concealment. In case of concealment, 100% to 300% of the tax they can levy penalty. Okay? Then you have to do. What you have to do? You have to make tax planning, but you cannot make tax evasion. Then investment, you have to make investment planning, and while making investment, no sentiment in investment, no investment in sentiment, no obligatory investment you should do, You should strictly have professional decision. You should consult professional financial planner or investment consultant or a chartered accountant. They will guide you properly. Then you should not put all eggs in one basket. You should have diversification in your investment. And most liquid nature is bank deposits. Of course, it may fetch lesser interest. Nowadays, many people, they may keep deposits in cooperative banks, NBFCs and some finance corporations. But do remember, these cooperative banks, they are very cooperative when you are keeping the deposit. They show non-cooperation when you withdraw the deposit. Okay. Return on investment is more important. Rather than return on investment, you are getting return of investment is more important. Otherwise, you have to make return of investment. So be careful. Kula nodi endu kodu, mara nodi balli nodu, bank nodi deposit iduvantu. Alva. Don't keep your this with all the people. You have to see properly. Then FEMA compliance. FEMA compliance means NRIs can buy property in India, but they cannot buy agricultural property in India. Now in Karnataka, earlier income more than 2 lakhs, they are not supposed to buy agricultural land. It should be agriculture. Now they can buy. But as per FEMA regulations, you are not supposed to buy agricultural land in India, and even in estates also you cannot buy. So that one restriction is there. FEMA violation is also you should not do. That is don't. Okay. And make remittance through banking channels only. No hawala transactions. Okay. Only with banking channels. Then there are for repatriation also. Some cases there is automatic route is there. Some is specific permission is required. With the form 15CA and chartered accountant certificate and form 15CB. As per that only you can make remittance. Then returning Indians, so far you are enjoying tax exemption. Once you come back, you have to plan properly. Then you can make tax savings. Of course, there are various avenues how you can make planning. It is a big subject. I am very proud that today tree is presented to me. What is the significance of tree? Presenting the tree. Because tree gives shelter and fruits. Like our Union Bank as India has also given shelter and fruits to many MSMEs and many entrepreneurs. Really hats off to you. So during this pandemic time, there were wrinkles on the faces of the entrepreneurs. During this pandemic time, there were wrinkles on the faces of the entrepreneurs. By your timely support, by your BCL and other loans, the wrinkle on their faces got converted into twinkle in their eyes. So really, you are Union Bank, you are not a good bank, you are a great bank. Good doctor understands medicine, great doctor understands patients. Likewise, good teacher understands the subject, great teachers understand students. Good banker understands only financials, whereas great banker understands customers. Here we have a great banker. Even after the merger, they are continuing the legacy and tradition of all these three banks. ಮೂರು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ, ತ್ರಿವೇಣಿ ಸಂಗಮ ಆಗಿದೆ. ತ್ರಿವೇಣಿ ಸಂಗಮ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ. So you did not have to worry. There were some worries 2 years back when Corporation Bank, when customer meet, somebody was bothered. So bank is going to merge and all this thing. What is the next? So you did not have to worry. So now Trivedi Sangama has happened. Bank has become big banyan giant tree. I would like to conclude with the small one Chutuku regarding Union Bank. Just I have prepared evening. If you like it, you can clap. If you don't like it also, you can clap because next Chutuku I have to do. I have not told Chutuku. Okay.
Clapping in advance.
Union of for Andhra and Union is Bank Union. Union of for Andhra and Union is Bank Union. Bank of first choice is its vision. Bank of first choice is its vision. Good people to bank with is its mission. Good people to bank with is its mission. Amalgamated with the bank corporation. Amalgamated with the bank corporation. Now grown as Big Tree Banyan. Now grown as Big Tree Banyan. Its net worth now in billion. Its net worth now in billion. Its customers are in million. Its customers are in million. Servicing customers with devotion. Servicing customers with devotion. Customer-centric products are its innovation. Customer-centric products are its innovation. 6.4% lowest rate housing loan. MSME also they are very lowest rate of interest. And mortgage loan also lowest rate of interest. And only the thing is you have to show some interest while taking the loan. That is the only pending now. So a bank with existence, a centurion. Bank with its existence, a centurion. Rajkiran Rai is its captain. Rajkiran Rai is its captain, duly supported by its GM Ravindra Babu, man of action. Duly supported by its GM Ravindra Babu, man of action. Young regional manager Mahesh is his companion. Young RM Mahesh is his companion. That's why customers are with win-win. Customers are with win-win situation. Today Union Bank's NRI meet celebration. Today Union Bank's NRI meet celebration. You are beloved Union Bank's respected citizen. You are beloved Union Bank's respected citizen. Wish you all Happy New Year. I am CASSN. Wish you all Happy New Year. I am CASSN. So time has no holiday. Dreams have no expiry date. Life has no pause button. You should enjoy every moment of the life as it is. And save only those memories which give twinkle in your eyes, as I already told, not wrinkle on your faces. Wish you all happy, healthy, prosperous, fantastic flag end of 2021, and I look forward to a fantabulous New Year 2022. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you very much.